company regulation in the UAE.
Hello and welcome. My name is Joa and I'm a project manager here at Business Boutique in Dubai.
What types of reports are there in the UAE and what companies are required to file?
In the UAE, there are a number of types of reports that companies must submit. First, all companies in the UAE are required to maintain a register of beneficial owners, shareholders, and nominee directors. Secondly, companies in some cases may be required to confirm their economic substance in the Emirates and submit notifications and reports to the UAE Ministry of Finance. Thirdly, a number of companies must maintain anti-money laundering records, register on the GoAML portal, and upon request by the relevant regulatory authorities, provide reports on their customers.
What are the requirements regarding the maintenance and registry of beneficial owners, shareholders, and nominee directors in the UAE?
Today, regulators require all companies registered in the UAE to disclose information about their ultimate beneficial owners, UBOs for short. A UBO is an individual who ultimately owns or controls directly through the chain of ownership or through other means of control 25 or more of the shares or 25% or more of the voting rights in a legal entity. All companies registered in the UAE must maintain a register of shareholders, a register of ultimate beneficial owners, and finally a register of nominee directors. All registered must be maintained on an ongoing basis, and companies must notify the relevant regulatory authority of any changes or amendments to the information provided within 15 days of such changes or amendments. Each company must also take reasonable steps to ensure transparency in obtaining accurate beneficial ownership information. If you're interested in reading more about these requirements and the relevant government documents, namely Cabinet Resolution number 58 of 2020, regulating beneficial owner procedures, you can find the text of the document in our online store in the Business Boutique website.
What is the requirement for companies in the UAE to prove economic presence?
In the UAE, there are additional requirements for companies engaged in certain activities, hereinafter refers to as relevant activities. Such companies are subject to economic substance requirements. Economic substance regulations have been introduced in the UAE to fulfill the country's obligation as a member of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. In this regard, a cabinet decision dated April 30th, 2019 was issued to ensure that companies registered in the UAE that carry out certain activities are not used to artificially transfer profits from high tax jurisdictions to low tax UAE jurisdiction. The following activities are considered relevant activities and required proof of economic substance. Economic substance regulation, hereinafter referred to as ESR. Banking, insurance, investment fund management, lease finance, shipping, holding company, intellectual property, distribution and service centers, as well as headquarters. If the company carries out any of the above activities, it needs to fulfill the following requirements to prove its economic presence in the UAE. Confirm that the company carries out its core income generating activities in the UAE, meet all economic substance requirements in accordance with the scale of its operations in the UAE, confirm that there is an adequate number of employees for the size of the business who are physically located in the country, confirm that the company has a certain amount of operating expenses in the UAE, confirm that the company owns a certain number of physical assets in the UAE, for example, a rented office. Companies carrying out relevant activities must submit a notification to the UAE Ministry of Finance within 6 months after the end of the financial year and declare whether or not they have received income from the relevant activities. In the event that the companies have earned an income from relevant activities, they are required to additionally file an economic substance regulations report within 12 months after the end of the financial year. If you're interested in reading more about this requirement in the relevant government documents, you can find the text of the documents in our online store on the Business Boutique website.
What is anti-money laundering reporting and which companies in the UAE are required to report?
AML, anti-money laundering, are the principles of combating money laundering, terrorism financing, and weapons of mass destruction. Certain types of non-financial businesses have been identified by the UAE regulator as being more at risk of money laundering. Among them are the following: real estate companies, for example, developers, brokers, and real estate agents. Companies providing audit, accounting, or tax advice, as well as companies providing professional services and guarantees to third parties regarding the financing and tax stability of their business. Dealers of precious metals or stones, brokers, gemstone cutters and polishers, jewelry manufacturers, trust, service providers, corporate service providers. The above companies are subject to the following requirements: appoint an AML compliance officer, known as an MLRO. Register with the Go AML system to report suspicious activity and transactions. Subscribe to the automated reporting system for sanctions lists. Establish AML policies, procedures, system and controls to ensure compliance with the AML law. Provide training to employees on AML at a minimum upon hiring annually when there is a significant change in the legislation, business, or customers. Screen customers and their ultimate beneficial owners for sanctions. Check for politically exposed person or criminal status. Understand the client's background and activities, the source of capital accumulation, and the source of income. Conduct a client risk assessment. Report suspicious transactions and activities to the Go AML electronic portal. The above responsibilities apply to companies located on both the mainland and in free economic zones.
Scan this QR code for a consultation.